Welcome back to my lovely HP community and the 5D collective. Let's chit chat from the eternal child right here. When you are a 5D mystic or a 5D mindfully living and loving person, why 5D? Christ consciousness and integration of the brain. The Anima Mundi is for my 5D mystics. The eternal child is for those of you who are mindfully aware of being a baby star. And that's because you are your whole tree. So you have a window welcome to your emotional plane and a window welcome to your thinking plane. And so you think and feel already with ease. Doesn't have to be complete ease, because we all know life sends us unknowns, uncertainties, and unwanteds. But you love mindfulness practices and mindset practices, unlike the orphaned. So the orphaned are the men that we will not respect and we will fear. They are the unhealthy, self-worth, no boundary men that can be an anxious or avoidant in either and or all cases. And obviously the good guts know how to make sure of physical safety. So when we meet those who have need of therapy, we don't lecture them. We simply know how to handle, like a feminine right here can tell you, because I'm a true feminine. I have my own mother and father. That's because my heart and my body and my mind, they're all one. It's integration of the brain. Okay, great. So if you don't know these words, integration of brain means that my left and right are talking, and being able to be a restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, and regulating person is why I am a mentor to those who want to be their self. And the true self is one that is a inner child, not the orphaned one. True self, you own yourself, not pretend to. Pretenders are the ones we will fear, but we will also not fear them physically, because once you believe in yourself enough and you know how to sing your own song, be in the now. You don't reclaim your power by shouting at somebody. No. You take the lead by being fearless and bold. How? Well, I got to learn being playful. So God and Jesus taught me humble forgiveness, and Krishna Lila taught me playfulness. And my nervous system is what I'm talking about. It's called flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain. As Dr. Daniel Siegel would say, I'm a somatic empath. Actually, Stephen Porges, Bezel Vanderkolk, my Somatopia Keep team, and a bunch more. So a somatic empath is only a somatic empath when they are like this, which is where I'm always gooey. Okay, great, good. So I respect the men that I don't fear, and the women and the days. And they're all here like us. And then I don't respect the ones who I fear, but that doesn't mean I disrespect them. Not at all. I allow myself to learn what the orphaned, which is the adaptive child pattern and / maladaptive pattern of behavior is, and I leave it alone. And they go and continue being Cusco, like my facade friend. Okay, that's the part. Ego doesn't actually know anything. We do, but we leave alone. As for out in the world, I'm trying to share with anyone, men, women, and days, you have two groups. The ones who have healthy self-worth, therefore they know self-regulation and take trauma healing seriously. And you'll see them, like Kylie. She's narcissist. I'll go and hang out with Kylie more than I will with the fancy man and woman in suit who pretend and have millions of followers. And they think they're healthy. I trust Kylie. I see her authenticity, and you know what? Even if, let's say, she would fall back on something, she's authentically supporting people. They're just pretending. Also, they talk really bad about the smart therapist that I learned from. And Kylie instead knows Dr. Daniel Fox, who is an expert in personality disorders. The fancy man talks to you about lack of imagination for evil. There's a fancy woman who tells you that her colleagues are against her and that narcissists aren't healable. And then there's others who pretend to be in love with all mental health and say, I canceled that person. You know why? Because I had no space for them. Wow, I thought you were in favor of supporting people to heal from trauma. I don't think you read Sadhguru's recent quote on how our family is there to support us to get over our likes and dislikes. I don't think that 16-year-old really wants to grow up. Oh, well, they don't have to. Again, everybody chooses, or wait, determined. Some people believe that they have no free will, such as Robert Sapolsky. I believe that you can choose, but let me read to you. So I respect the men I don't fear and fear the men I don't respect. And the same goes for women and people, but I will always be Maria. Be yourself. It's what the healthy self-worth woman, man, or they will know. Oh, and your gut is going to be a good gut. So my gut knows when I'm physically safe. That's all I care about. Emotionally, a person who has an empowered ego doesn't get offended by teenagers, because really they don't have much to come at you with. Also, when you meet unbridled self-expression and those who are orphaned, you'll notice they're not really fun, and you're just letting that trail build up because you're in the present. I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing. I'm going to have a good time, but, I won't pick up on if there's anything behind the scenes. That's my will. Oh, we don't get affected if you have low self-esteem because the envy is on your end, the resentment on your end, the jealousy, the dysregulation is on the end of the body that's in it. You see what I'm saying? So we're not affected by it's a 0-8-year-old with structural dissociation comes the child parts that they didn't learn how to heal because they don't want to heal with Patrick Teahan, a good childhood trauma therapist. You see what I'm saying? So when their child parts come into the room, it's this, I don't need to do anything. I don't know what's going on. They know what they're, so you get the drift. Good. So our brain is not doing anything. We're flexible, adaptive, coherent, and just stable because I'm an integrated brain and I'm Maria. I'm having a good time. Magic works through me and you. Whether you're eternal child or orphan doesn't make a difference. I don't need you to have healthy self-worth. My facade friend taught me all about being nothingness. Like for real, not pretend. This is a friend of mine. I love him to death. He taught me how I am no thingness. Let me specify what I mean. So when you're a person who is this, your soul and connected to God and all that, which a spiritual person like me can tell you, and your inner child, so you just make friends because you like to hang out. Star baby. Okay? So when you meet people that you love to death and you're just being yourself, and you find out that everything you poured your heart and soul out to them and they didn't hear anything, it's like, wow, it's a big shocker. So yeah, we have emotions, but it doesn't make it bigger because it's friend or romance. It's actually exactly the same because love is exactly the same. Because I don't love you more or less. I will build with you a relationship. If it's romantic, then we will have romance. If it's not, then we won't. The level of depth of my relationship, because I'm consistently mindfully aware of Maria and showing up whole and complete, is going to be the depth of me. The minute you will have unseen me is the depth of me. I will have taken the quote-unquote hit, like my facade friend. Oh, and a feminine only needs one experience to remember how to spot it again. In fact, I thank my facade friend. He's the one who gave me the hit of a lot of things. So that's why romance, no, our twin flame journey is not tragic. In fact, feminines don't test masculines. Masculines don't test feminines. What an empowered 5D mystic path looks like with our twin flame is one, the earth didn't need us in order for it to become its 5D frequency. Number two, the earth doesn't need 144,000 chosen ones to be in its 5D frequency. It's been for a while. Anytime I see the story of the new earth, I just think of when I spotted that. So, Dharma people spot things because our brain is actually in the now and we're not into the story. We're into having a relationship with, let me talk again. Thank you. Anima Mundi, with God, Source, Universe, Akash. So, spiritually awakened to me began with the Holy Spirit, Jesus, and God. I never lost that because I never lost Maria. Because I was never disowned by myself. By myself. I love myself. Anybody who brings me my flaws, I'm like, hey, I can go play somewhere else. I don't have to be here. Oh, I'm not changing though. Oh, in romance, I was told by one of my breakups, I thought you would change. It's like, huh? Did you meet me? Didn't you know my divine masculine? I'm my own father. I'm my own divine feminine. My own mother. You don't know what a healthy, self-worth, empowered person is? I didn't have those words at the time. I just had people saying, you should be more negotiable. I didn't realize that my 24 hours needed to be decided by somebody else. That's not how healthy self-worth works. So long story short, again, those who are orphaned, they're other self-worth based. Those of us who are eternal children are not other based. It's self-based. That's it. I give myself this, and in fact, my 3-year-old said, hey mom, you can't spank me. It's my body. Hey biological father, the name is Maria. After the 3rd time, see, I had patience because he was bigger. No, it's not that. It's just because I was waiting to make sure. My ears wanted to make sure I was hearing correctly because, I might have said it wrong, might have heard it wrong. Again, I'm a woman. I respect the men I don't fear. I fear the men I don't respect, and I will make sure that they won't be picking up. But the nice thing about being in my ventral vagal state is that I'm not a please appeaser. I'm not a submit collapse, and I'm not an attach cry. I'm going to be in my social engagement system, but because my social engagement system is also aware that I'm in my self and you're in yourself. Actually, how am I going to bring this one forth? Wait a minute, let me think. I'm going to bring in God, humble, the frequency, and Krishna Lila, the depths of playfulness and fun. That's how I'm going to bring it. And my stature, I'm 4'9". So the reality is my body's like, okay, breathe softly. Relax, you're physically safe, it's all going to be okay, just stay down. And so they will just say, oh, scaredy cat. Yeah, I'm a scaredy cat. I'm a scaredy cat. And you back off. So it's not something I would be proud of. I would not be proud of myself knowing that somebody doesn't respect me, but they're afraid of me. But then again, some people, they don't care. They like to be in power because they want to have control, because they were felt helpless and hopeless in their 1-year-old. So they want to perpetuate their transgenerational trauma. They're okay with scaring people the way they were scared. Shaming, blaming, faulting, revenging, like the fancy man and woman in suits. And that's something unfortunate, but as Robert Sapolsky pointed out, determined. So again, we don't really need to change their modalities. Pachas are going to be Pachas, and Cusco's going to keep being Cusco's. Here's Pachas. And that's the part of where the ones who are healing from Cusco land, they come over so that they can have good, fun relationships. And the future is going to be made of Pachas, because really, neuroscience, neurobiology, the smart people. Okay, so what being you means to you, how you show up and how you live life, it's going to be your choice. Who you choose to be in this lifetime, also your choice. What you choose to leave behind in this lifetime as your legacy for future generations to look upon is your choice again. Unless you believe that you have been determined and that you have no free will, in such a case, you will have been defined by all that has been, and all one has to do to know you and what you will leave behind and who you are is to look to your past. Your karma, that's your 0 to 8-year-old, and your 16-year-old let me know all of that stuff. That will define you, and we will know what you will be, what you will do, and what you will leave behind as your legacy, because also that inner critic and outer critic just keeps on coming out with the dysregulation. I mean, that avoidant on screen, she tells us all about why she's doing what she's doing. So that's the other part about ego. It just spills out the beans, and then says, nope, it's done. And there's your doomsdayer, your ghost, your hostile, your workaholic, and there's are we good? Those are all childhood personas and personalities that Patrick Tian heals with therapy, but some people don't want. They like those personalities, and their dysregulated nervous system, in fact, shares with us their child parts whenever they come up, and there you go. So again, in both cases, we have people who will have chosen to be their self. So, okay, you choose to be you, the eternal child or the orphan, either or. The orphans have their 4D3D collective to look to, and they're going to continue thinking they know badass in their modulated embodiment. You will choose to be you, and you will choose how to be remembered, what you will have brought forth with being yourself in this lifetime, just the way, again, you chose it to be. So if you want to be in your safety behavior threat, there's your... If you want to be loved, there's love. So we don't, again, change love because of those who are betraying, unkind, emotionally unavailable. They don't know how to love. They don't know how to have hope, kindness. They don't want to. No, we know about being empowered by the life energy that we have because we know our energy body, and pure consciousness body because we access our infinite higher human conscious potential by having the ownership of our inner child, by having the ownership of your sense of self and knowing your sense of self, your core narrative relational, and the solo self, and then becoming that functional adult and the 5D mystic for some of you. That's because we're living in our restorative embodiment. So that's something possible for those who choose integration of the brain through mindfully living and loving, and or spiritually living and loving. The capacity to share being yourself and to love who you are and to love others for who they are, and to live and laugh, that is the part that you're going to notice. The ones who choose to keep their trauma safety behaviors and fear of building genuine relationships and living life vulnerably, they won't be with you. They won't be around us. They don't want this. They're afraid of it. You see, when people have chosen fear in general with the low self-esteem aspect, It's very clear for feminine because it's going to be a very, like my facade friend, when he came out of nowhere in a group we're talking, and all of a sudden I find myself with a friend of mine that has heard half of my mystic story, and it's just something again, the aspect of our mysticism. If you're not, it's cool. 5D grasps it. Don't dismantle it. Don't belittle it. Don't make it into something meaningless, especially though, and actually I should say, is if you care to create and build a genuine relationship with a mystic. If you care about it, then from your own heart and your own brain, you will not assume to know. You will be a person who is aware. I don't experience what a mystic experiences, and there's plenty of smart human beings who know how to do this. But a 5D mystic won't be like, they just, no. So we won't be upset or feel disrespected because some human being doesn't experience it. When you're a mystic in the 5D plane, at the very bare minimum is how I'm going to equate it. And these are words I'm using to explain a concept. It's an integrated brain. But Christ consciousness is why I'm here, that's for sure. So if somebody is teasing my clairs, which I've had bountiful of, I don't give a shit because I'm just thinking nothing. Because again, when I got an orphan, what I got is a human being who doesn't own all of their self. I'm not ashamed of Maria. Apparently they're ashamed of something, because otherwise they would know how to demonstrate respect. That's why, again, I'm a 4'9" woman. I learned how to disengage from teenager land in the absence of actually thinking I was in a physical threatening anything, and I found out as a grown-up that all these teenagers wanted to beat me up. So as a grown woman, I don't trust men or women or theys, but especially men. My men friends have made sure I understand how it works. And therefore, if you want to call it scaredy cat, you can go for it. I'm not scaredy, but I definitely don't want to physically die. And because ego, when it is low self-esteem, they don't play. How can actually, this is they play dirty. But playing dirty means you're a coward, which means you don't have balls. But also, I'm not enough of a grown human being, meaning big, to be able and present to you the truth. Otherwise, I would. But even if I did, you're in your biological rudeness. That's why the term in Robert Sapolsky matters more. And so does Stephen Porges. Because even if I tried to dress something with seriousness, like my facade friend, you're not taking me seriously. You're speaking over me. So you're playing dirty, not Lucifer dirty. You're in a low self-esteem, dysregulated nervous system, not even telling me shit in my face. It's a Cusco with Pacha, but I'm not Pacha. I'm a woman and I'm a person, and I'm explaining to y'all something that to me means the world, because my facade friend, again, I just need to thank him. Because when in the future these things happened again, I didn't have any reactivity, because I'm like, oh, I know that one. It's called Insecure People. Oh, that's right. They had heartbreak, betrayal, and kindness. They had some shit go down in their home. They don't want to be vulnerable. Why am I even bothering with it? I'm so sorry. I was lost somewhere. Okay, so long story short, again, welcome aboard, any 5D mystic and mindfully living and loving person. Really, it's an honor to be here because of all the lovely scientists who have given me the power to use words effectively to tell you. I don't have anything to say about people who are cowards, especially men, except for I'm 4'9". And whenever I've met any of the insecure ones, you better bet I can't speak what I really think, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to control their own hands. And that's something true, because I met teenagers who wanted to beat me up, and they're all teenagers. In fact, they're also oblivious to everything, which really gets my brain going in a way that doesn't, it's something that I have a very big challenge with, because I don't consider anybody stupid. But that's the part of where Robert is right about the way that I need to remember they're not online, as well as Stephen Porges. And so I'm not joking. God is benevolent. He gives all these human beings who don't want to go to good therapy an option. It's called, keep on pretending to be badass. In the meantime, the ones of you who are true about love, come on over, because really, there are the ones who don't want to stay this way, and that's what I love. Also, the teenagers need good examples of healthy self-worth people versus the ones who want to keep on being assholes. Quote unquote. I mean, really, they're not assholes. They're just perpetuating gender stereotypes through movies, you name it. So again, the teenagers have an option, we have an option, and the world keeps moving forward. In the meantime, magic works through every one of us, but the ones of us who are restorative embodiment, yes, we Love to love, and my baby, he loves to laugh, and he loves to learn, and he loves to expand. And any empowered man, woman, and they will physically protect each other, but they will also back off from any low self-esteem situation because we're grown-ups. And they won't say, oh, we need to be friends with everyone. No. But they also won't say, we need to be reactive. No. They will be smart enough to know that the intelligence comes from integrated brains, restorative embodiment, whole inner child. You know why? Because your first 3 years of life, you want to heal all that shit. Otherwise, you ain't ruling you yet. And even if you get a hold of those first 3 years, it's going to take your will, like Kylie's doing, to actually completely disengage, completely from all of the maladaptive patterns that come up. You know what's beautiful about this era is that we have men, women, and theys who are getting out of this, like Kylie. And so when I think of that, I think because number one, you need to choose to have a heart to heart. You can't completely heal that childhood stuff without at least one romantic partner. Why? Because it is about trusting one human being to be your safe haven, secure base. And it's because trauma is relational. And I'm not kidding. So the orphan, it's once they become seen, soothed, safe, secure, their own father, their own mother. Now we have a healthy self-worth man, woman, they, so someone we respect, we don't fear. They want to do the restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating, mindfully living. Okay, so they're all on board with magic working through all of us and knowing that no baby chose any of it. No, none of our species. We don't need to. Okay, so now we have this, but we have a person who began with this. Okay, now I'm a person who instead I begin with this and I stay this. Okay, I stay my eternal child because I get to have a tree that doesn't disrupt from restorative embodiment. Okay, just to give you, I know that I'm offering to you love. Now, I'm going to say, like Aladdin to Jasmine, do you trust me? And that I can show you a whole new world. And you're going to say yes. The difference, though, is I'm not afraid to love. I love to love, and my baby, he loves to laugh, and he loves to live, and he loves to learn, and he loves to not cast stone, expand, and that's exactly why feminine won't be doing any of, oh my God, they betrayed me, I need to let them open the door, or some shit like that. No. You just know that love is easy, it's kind, and it's fun. But that person who has this, they have balls when they've chosen this, though. Until that day, I got a Cusco. As long as I got a Cusco, I'm going to know because Cusco's Cusco, he lies. But what I was trying to say is we have people who are healing like Kylie. And so this needs this. Because the only way you're going to choose love is when you say, hey, fear, this was my childhood. I have healthy self-worth now. Magic works through me. I believe in myself. I will sing my own song. I am in the now using my prefrontal. I don't need to shout. I know how to regulate my nervous system in this. I know how to take a lead like Bambi, not Bambi's awful father, no. And I know how to be fearless and bold. And I know how to be playful. As a true masculine, when they're empowered, is playful, not scary. Same thing goes with men. But until they're scary, we don't go near them. The feminine is going to keep an eye out. We don't test the masculines. We wait and we watch. And you know what we find out? We find out what you're capable of. The very minute you bring to me your humbug, I will know what you're capable of. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm physically alive, you didn't do anything. I'm not going to be impressed. I'm going to be unimpressed. That's what happens when a feminine meets anyone who doesn't know how to be a true feminine, true masculine. That's why it's not about energy vampires or dark auras. Everything comes from the same source. You come to absolute ease only if you experience yourself as a part of existence, not as a separate individual. Thank you, Sadhguru, but it's in your body. And this is that part of where I feel very strongly it's not only about the part of a whole. Your ego is soft. Your self is soft. Use your human name. You know what you know. So if you're spiritual, you can understand this easily. If you're mindful, then I'm going to say bring in determined Robert Sapolsky. It's not about justifying maladaptive child pattern trauma behavior. It's about understanding. There's no demon. They're people. And the way you talk about them does make a difference. As long as you maintain a level of rigidity towards those who don't want healing, you're maintaining an ego that is harsh, unforgiving, and that's an adaptive child who's not understanding what biologically rude people are experiencing. I didn't say you have to be open-hearted. I said understand. This is exactly why there's Patrick Tian for those who don't want to be in a forgiving, unconditionally loving. I'm here with the ones who are in the 5D. Christ consciousness is after you are forgiving, you are understanding, you know how to sit in neutrality and duality, and to believe again in yourself and in all those who are choosing to heal and or who are their eternal child, because otherwise it's just a perpetuation of that which we were just talking about. So we're here for the people who want to choose to be their self, all of the 5D collective, whether you come with mindfulness or with the spirituality or both like I do. I'm going to read to you something I've been holding in my pocket since I was a very young adolescent. Believe in yourself. I'm going to use a lovely little squirrel here. Believe in yourself to the depths of your being. Nourish the talent your spirit is freeing. Know in your heart when the going gets slow that your faith in yourself will continue to grow. Don't forfeit ambition when others may doubt. It's your life to live. You must live it throughout. Learn from your errors. Don't dwell in the past. Never withdraw from a world that is vast. Believe in yourself. Find the best that is you. Let your spirit prevail. Steer a course that is true. Bruce B. Wilmer. So, with that being said, welcome aboard to all of those who will choose to be their true self. And again, mindfully living and loving, and the time it takes, it's all beautiful. With a window welcome to emotions, you're ready for mindfulness and spirituality. With the good therapists, you can add stuff because we all work together as a team. Mystics, spirituality, sciences, it all comes together here at IHP. And with the intelligent brains, also because we're not trying to prove shit. We're just chit-chatting and having a good time. And then we're making it our mission to work with healthy self-worth people and heal trauma seriously. And again, it's an honor when I meet the ones who are choosing love, because they're going to have such a good time. Because we have all the smart scientist people who are supporting us to, know how to be there. So I'm here for the ones of you who want to be more of yourself with the inner growth mindset, tapping into your 5D mystic path and or your, again, 5D mindful path. These are words I use, but essentially it's called restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating, desiring people with your inner child in the forefront. I hope you had a wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for tuning in.